for today's cup of coffee, we've got a little bit of encouragement for you. And that's needed during these times. And as far as angels that have helped people while they were on the battlefield. And this comes from a website called Aleteia. I have probably butchered that. I don't know.
I don't know either, so I can't help. I'm sorry. Aleteia. Link will be in the description box. And this is by John Berger, and it was first published on the 5th, 23rd of 2020. And it's entitled The Strange Account of the Day Angels Saved British Troops During World War I. And Mr. Berger writes, nations and their armies have often gone to war believing that God is on their side. And a little-known incident at the onset of World War I, that sentiment seemed to have been visibly affirmed for a number of British soldiers. In early August of 1914, soon after tensions on multiple fronts and levels erupted into war, Great Britain dispatched the British Expeditionary Force, the BEF, to counter the German invasion of Belgium. The Germans had their sights on Paris, and the BEF met the German army at the Belgian town of Mons, southwest of Brussels. The BEF was vastly outnumbered, but fought valiantly against the forces of the Second Reich. Unfortunately, they could not hold the line. As they retreated, the Germans pursued them. Now, by August the 26th, the two sides engaged in a fierce battle at La Cateau, France. Multiple British fighters swore later that they witnessed celestial intervention against the German onslaught. And historian Robert Barr writes, quote, some Tommies swore it had been St. George, the warrior saint of England. And Mr. Barr is quoting from his website, Warfare History Network, and it was reproduced at the National Interest. He further states, others said it might have been St. Michael since he carried a gleaming sword. A few said they couldn't tell, but it had definitely been an angel, maybe more than one. Some men who were sure that they had seen three wonderful tall figures towering above the smoke and dust of the battlefield. For others, it had been a brilliant light, a golden aura against a brilliant sky, or a cloud in which indistinct but heroic figures had come and gone, aided by phantom archers from the olden days of the English warrior kings. Whatever it was, the soldiers agree that it had saved their lives. No amount of civilian scoffing would ever change that, end quote. Wow.
You know, anytime anybody sees something or has an experience, you've always got the naysayers.
Always. No matter even if you have proof, like, that most definitely proves them wrong.
Right.
They'll just, like the flat earthers.
Don't start that. Don't start that. Anyhow, the scoffing back home took the form of suggestions that the men were overextended in battle circumstances, leading to hallucinations. But the very fact that they lived to tell what they had witnessed gave credence to the testimonies of those on both sides of the battle. Quote, in one action during the long retreat, an understrength British battalion about to be overrun by masses of German infantry became aware of a shadowy army fighting beside them, an army of bowmen of the days of Agincourt. 5 centuries gone, wrote Smith, who served in Vietnam and retired as a law professor from the University of Oklahoma. He goes on to state, these phantom men-at-arms cried aloud to St. George, and their swift arrows darkened the sky. A great voice was heard to thunder over the din of the battle, array, array. German prisoners taken in the action said they were bewildered that their British opponents had reverted to wearing armor and shooting arrows. End quote.
Okay.
That's amazing. That must have been an amazing thing to see.
Yeah.
And then the author goes on to quote somebody, I have no clue who he's quoting at this point. Anyhow,
Who are you?
It says that weary British soldiers saw tall, unearthly figures materialize in the gloom above the German lines. They were winged like angels, and as they hovered in the gathering darkness, the German inexplicably halted, and the British slipped away to safety. During the retreat, some soldiers swore that they had seen the face of the patron saint of England. A wounded Lancashire Fusilier. Did I do it right that time?
I think so.
Okay. Fusilier, and I had to look at that, what that was. A fusil is a flintlock musket.
That's actually pretty cool.
A fusilier is somebody that has this type of weapon.
Yeah.
He had asked for a nurse for a picture or medal of St. George because he said he had seen the saint leading the British troops at a place in France. Not even going to try that one. A wounded gunner confirmed his story. He described the saint the same way the fusilier had. A tall, yellow-haired man on a white horse wearing golden armor and wielding a sword. Other soldiers agreed that he looked like this image on the gold sovereigns of that day. End quote. The Germans, though they outnumbered the British in men and arms, saw something that convinced them that their enemies had strong reinforcements. Apparently, the BEF did have strong reinforcements, but not human ones. And it says for people that are history buffs, you can go to this article and read the full writing at the National Interest.
Mm-hmm.
And that must have been an amazing story because, and there's lots of stories of people during time of battle and stuff having people show up. I know that one of them I had heard, I think it was from World War II, that some of these soldiers were hiding out in, an abandoned building.
Yeah.
And that it was another soldier that had come to the door and said, you all need to leave. And so they just figured that it was somebody that outranked them. And so they did get out of the structure. And just a few minutes later, it was struck by a bomb.
Damn.
And they never found out who it was, what it was. It could have been an angelic encounter. Because apparently angels, and we call all of these things angels, the heavenly beings. And our backdrop today is a book by Dr. Michael Heiser about the different spiritual beings, which I have not read that one yet. But I have listened to the Naked Bible podcast, so I'm not totally unfamiliar with his take on these. Angel means messenger. But whatever these spiritual beings are, that they can take on the form of, that they can look like people. I've had that experience before.
I've heard of people having that experience.
And it's...
You included.
Yeah. It's incredible.
I think Dad knew someone who had, that sort of thing happen.
So it's not that uncommon. It's just that a lot of times people don't pay attention, or they rationalize these things away. But now these guys, do I believe that this was, forces of good taking care of them? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's just been lots of stories over, just about every battle. Even as far as scripture, there's lots of stories where angels intervened. They're not these little chubby babies floating around.
Cherubs.
It's not these fairy women floating around. I don't know who it was that decided that was supposed to be the depiction of angels. These beings are warriors.
Yeah. I guess that I assume because people just depicted all of them using lightning.
Well, when you go back,
as weapon,
and I think that it is Archangel Michael defeating the devil as far as the serpent and stuff like that, and that's one that depicts a warrior. But I don't know historically, artistically, who started the little limp-wristed things for fairies, for angels, because they do look like fairies.
They do. I'm trying to remember where it was. I heard it from somewhere. I just don't remember what it was.
I think a lot of that was Renaissance, and then you've got that painting. I don't know the artist, where you've got the angel, this beautiful gossamer angel behind the two little kids as they're traveling at night. And, you know, I would prefer that they had the 9 or 10 foot tall being, which that's been reported on a lot of the angels. And even on that, you know, this account, that they were these tall beings. Mm-hmm. You know, then you know, Glenda the Good Witch.
Coming down in a bubble. Mm-hmm. A smoke bubble at that.
So I don't, like I said, I don't understand. There's lots of accounts as far as angels fighting for people and different things like that. Not saying that there's not female angels, just saying that in Scripture they're not mentioned. But when you've got these beings that are constantly at war with the forces of darkness, you know, it's odd.
Yeah, very much so.
It's just odd. But I thought that was something that was needed and uplifting for today's cup.
It was nice.
Positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got so much darkness right now. Personally, I need to believe that there is this warrior angel near us, rather than the little wispy. I don't need wispy. I need strong. I need powerful. Whatever it was that picked me up by the back of the neck that time, that was not little and wispy.
No.
And sitting there going, you go home now. Yeah, because I've got that kind of bullheaded.
My God.
I mean, seriously, I was just walking to the bathroom and, you know, of course, this was a different place and different time. I actually have told the full story in the past. But literally felt the hand on the back of my neck picking me up, you know, like the skull, at the bottom of the skull.
Scruff of the neck.
And I am not sure that my feet did not. I really believe my feet left the ground. I mean, it wasn't high above the ground, but it was just.
It's like a foot.
You know, no, it wasn't anything like that. Well, it's just that I was too concerned about being lifted up and, you know, didn't pay attention to how high. You know, at least it didn't shake me, but it just did enough to
Shaking baby syndrome.
To get my attention. And that was, I did not hear an audible voice. It was that speaking to your heart. You go home now. That was the message. That's all that needed to be said. Mm-hmm. So, and that's not, you know, the only encounter. But a lot of times they have been in times of distress.
Yeah.
And battle is a very distressing thing on all sides of it.
Very much so.
So, for those who believe, they're there. Maybe not as much as we would like to. I guess it's one of those, we want the tangible. I like tangible.
I like tangible too.
But in the realm of spirit, that is not how that works. Not usually.
No.
So, we're all in a battle right now. It is a spiritual battle. And so we've got to believe that we have these warriors surrounding us. Mm-hmm. And to give us hope and comfort and strength. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's a smaller cup today. It's one of those 9 ounces today. Because, like I said, I think everybody is just weary. And, you know, be careful what you put in your spirit. I understand there's a lot of us that are news hounds and different things like that. But, you know, we don't have to sit and watch that 24/7, and it can be toxic to your system.
That's why I don't watch it.
Well, I understand that. And it's like I'm limiting the amount. And I did take a day off. I sat and did something totally different and avoided news.
And she was like, I did jack shit today.
No, I mean, I just sit here.
I didn't do anything that accomplished.
I didn't feel like I accomplished anything. And it was sort of a restful day. It was a matter, I sit here and played little video games on my phone and watched, you know, reruns of House, which I love. And my children
tell me that I identify with the man. And
You do.
And at the end of the day, it was just like, I don't honestly see how people can do that all day, every day, because I needed a day, but I could not do that day in and day out. And I know that there are some people who do. But no, I like research. I like to learn things.
I like to research things too, but it's not going to be about things that going to make me upset, like political shit.
Well, I understand that. That's just not your...
I'm going to watch how it's made.
Okay.
That's informational.
It is informational. I'm not saying...
And then I'm going to look up more information about that subject, whatever I find.
And I understand we are in distressing times, and especially for those who are younger.
Mm.
Yeah. But again, that's a matter of faith. The angels. Yep. Warriors. Swords. I've heard lots of stories over the years. And I'd say that there's lots of people out there that have had divine intervention, if you want to call it that. Sometimes we've had that and we didn't even know it happened, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, angels, or any of the, we don't want, if you've had experiences with demons, now we'll save that for another cup.
No, tell us still.
Well, you can send it, but we'll save it for
Want to know?
For another
I want to know.
encounter. If you've got local, regional, family, myths, legends. Yeah, we talk a lot about the dark stuff, but we just needed to do a little bit of light for a minute.
I watched Demon House, Zach Bagans' Demon House documentary thing. I'm glad he tore that fucker down.
I tell you, at some point he's going to get hold of something that he does not know what to do with it. He's playing with fire.
Yeah, I agree, but hey, the man's making money.
Yeah, that's the whole point. He's making money. And I don't know how much of this stuff that he truly does believe, but that's why I say I'm concerned he's going to get a hold of something he does not know what to do with at some point.
Yeah. And well, if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that little notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. He who's being a complete jackass.
Yeah, cats. This is why I try to encourage kid to get all of them out of here.
But no,
of them.
He has to be the only one that's not actually a cat, but is in a cat body. Because he will fight us. What does he do when I try to pick him up?
Oh, he'll growl and he'll go on. He'll throw a fit.
He'll throw a fit. He'll grab onto whatever and will not let go.
So, and I do apologize for not editing out the coughing and the sneezing on the previous cup. I completely forgot. I did. And I watched, after it had been uploaded on 3 platforms, I'm like, it's a little too late.
You can just delete them all.
But it wasn't horrible, and it was one of those behind the scenes, and it's like people are going, oh God, they really are like that. Yes, we really are like this.
Yeah.
If anybody ever wondered. So you all have a beautiful, blessed day, and I encourage you as far as be of good cheer, be of hope, be grateful for what you have in front of you. Don't worry about tomorrow. Take care today. And know that you're loved.
Yes.
And we are always appreciative when somebody takes time to listen and ponder and slurp coffees with us.
Yep.
So, did you already do your thing?
That's when he who.
Oh, okay. That was what it was.
But I'll say it again.
Yeah.
If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click the little notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all. Have a good.
You all have a blessed day. Bye.
Or night. We don't know. Have a good.